Many years ago, 3 wise women told me, Dave, they said, don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the streams that you're used to. And we have stuck to the river that we're used to. We've gone up the Mississippi River, and we found ourselves here in Holy Cross at TLC Brewworks.
Yes.
This is Carol. You are the C of TLC.
I am.
Now, TLC actually stands for a couple of different things.
It does. It stands for Tom,
Tom.
Who is my brother-in-law.
Tom's the brother-in-law.
Linda. Who is my sister.
Sister.
Yes.
So TLC, Tom, Linda, Carol, also this local community.
Exactly.
And
we brew with tender, loving care.
See how that works? So Holy Cross is a town of like 400 people?
Maybe.
Right.
People.
I think it's possible. I'll have to go back and check the numbers. We don't really have numbers to check.
It's
but
small.
I'm pretty sure this is the smallest town we've ever been to on the show that has its own brewery. So congratulations, you've won a prize. Now the space that we're in, this was at one time a bank.
It was.
A DB&T?
It was a DB&T originally in 1978 when the building was built.
Okay.
It was a Farley State Bank, and then it was purchased by DB&T.
So how long has this not been a bank?
I believe about 5 years.
Because the vibe is, it was a bank fairly recently.
But
not so recently that it looks like a new bank.
No.
I mean, it's a step back into time here.
So when you come in the front door, there was a vestibule there originally, and if you look at the ceiling, we actually took that out, but you can see on the ceiling where the walls were.
Okay.
And downstairs where we brew now, you will see that, or well, I will tell you when you see the downstairs, that was an area that the bank actually rented out for events. So for instance, Tom and Linda had their 25th wedding anniversary there. All 3 of their children took driver's ed there.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Driver's ed and events.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and Boy Scout meetings.
Wow. So this building has been for Holy Cross like the center of town.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
It really served the community well at a time.
Well, listen, Holy Cross is the kind of place that you may not assume that would have an incredible brewery. You might drive right past it on your way to, if you were going from Dubuque to Decorah or whatever, don't drive past it. And this is absolutely a place that needs to be on your list of places to visit when you're in Northeast Iowa. Well, here we are in the heart of Guttenberg, Iowa, right in the downtown.
We are.
It's crazy how important breweries are to a thriving downtown. More on that in a moment. This is Catherine. Catherine, you are the head brewer of this place. You are the owner of this place.
Correct.
You are the designer of this place.
Also correct.
And it's worth pointing out, as near as we can figure, we've crunched the numbers and looked into this, you were, when this place opened last year, and probably continue to be, the youngest person to ever open up a brewery as the owner and brewer, like in the history of brewing.
Yeah.
It's not polite to ask a lady her age,
Okay.
but I'm 50 and I'm twice as old as you are.
That would be correct.
When I was your age, you were born, and now here you've got this.
It's been a crazy ride.
And I'm on television talking about beer, so we're both doing good, Catherine, but it's not a competition, okay?
It's not.
We're both doing well. Let's talk about how you get from there to here. I mean, you're 25 years old.
Correct.
And you are an owner and brewer of this beautiful facility. Did you skip a couple of grades?
I did, yeah. No. So I did a couple of years when I graduated school at the University of Northern Iowa.
Okay.
As a biology student. I was like, I don't want to become a doctor. I don't want to work in a lab. But I have this really big passion for fermentation. I was like obsessed with the Lindsay Lohan movie Parent Trap. And I thought that living on a vineyard was like the epitome of the coolest life you could ever live.
This is already my favorite story we've ever heard, and she's only like 5% into it. The Lindsay Lohan remake of The Parent Trap informed your life decision.
Absolutely it did.
I love every bit of
100%.
this.
Always wished I was a twin. Always wished I grew up on a vineyard. And I was like, I'm going to learn how to make wine and live on a vineyard. And so I went to college for a couple of years. And in between my UNI year and my start at Iowa State, I worked at a brewery. And I worked at Franklin Street Brewing in Manchester, Iowa, and changed my entire view on what I wanted to do, because I felt like it would be a great asset to a community, and also I would get to fulfill my passion.
What do we have in front of us here?
This is cran apple cider.
Oh, so this is a cider. This is dynamite.
Thank you. So my second cousins have a, I wouldn't call it an orchard, but they've accidentally kind of made an orchard over years. And so for like
an accidental orchard.
An accidental. Well, they haven't stopped
You
it.
have the coolest family
Yeah,
I've ever heard of in my life.
They're pretty cool. And so every year, we go and we hand press apple juice. And so they called me last fall. They're like, hey, you want to come hand press apple juice? I was like, yes, but can I steal it and make apple cider out of it?
Yeah, I've opened a brewery now.
Yeah. And so we get together, like 30 of our family members. We eat pizza and drink Busch Light, and we hand press like probably 6-7 bushels, like big tubs of apple juice, and everybody takes home like 30 gallons. You bring your own jugs, you sanitize them, they pasteurize on site. It's like the real deal.
So these apples are from not far from here.
No, so
Where did
then
the
the
cousins-
apple juice ran out. So I'll tell you the secret. It's great value apple juice.
So this is from Walmart.
Yes, it is.
It's Walmart
So
apple juice.
It's the cheapest apple juice that doesn't have preservatives
I see.
in it to stop fermentation from happening.
It's like the best of both worlds. It's almost like the cranberry and the apple somehow meet, and they're gonna get Natasha Richardson and Dennis Quaid back together.
Are they?
I don't know. I've never seen the movie. We're in St. Donatus, and I'm going to begin this segment with an apology to you, the viewer, because despite our best attempts and the latest equipment and technology, our cameras are not going to do this place justice. This is Carrie. Carrie, we're in Iowa's oldest barn.
Correct.
Let's just wrap our heads around that. Iowa's oldest barn. That's something else. Can we explain the space that we're in first, and then we'll talk about why we're here?
Okay, so this space that we're standing in is our tap room. The barn is actually a Luxembourg structure. It was built by Luxembourgers back in the 1800s. Supposedly this was built in 1839 before Iowa was even a state.
So this barn is older than the state of Iowa.
Yes.
So these people come from Luxembourg, and they build this barn
Yes.
in 18...
39.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm sorry, you keep going on, because
Yeah.
the history of this place is overwhelming.
And so people often think that when they walk in, they're going to see like one big open space in this barn, but it's built in multiple levels for a reason. So it's very similar to many of the barns in Europe, and the levels were for different purposes. So the animals were down below, there was grains and hay and things like that in here, and then the families actually lived in here.
And that's it. I mean, when you come here, you think barn, you have an idea in your head. I imagine that's a big part of when people come here, how blown away we are by the levels. It's like the greatest, it's like a treehouse meets castle meets, it's insane.
Yeah.
You've got the flag of Luxembourg behind you.
Yes.
Explain to me how important that is here in St. Donatus. I mean, obviously, the people that built this were from Luxembourg. Can you kind of walk me through the Luxembourg heritage of the space that we're in?
This whole area, St. Donatus and into Dubuque and down to Macokota and Cascade, there were lots and lots of Luxembourgers that came over in the mid-1800s.
What was it about this part of the state that attracted them, you think?
It looks very much like the area in Luxembourg.
Right, right. So if
And-
you go
and
to
you had
Luxembourg, it
access
looks
to the
like
water,
Iowa,
You had, I think just some of the industry that was here as well.
Okay.
So they settled in this area, and it's still, most of the families that live in this area came from Luxembourg descent. You can go up and down the roads and look at the mailboxes, and they're all Luxembourg names.
Right.
And so there's still a lot of family lineage here.
You mentioned that the people in St. Donatus have welcomed you. I wonder if the fact that there's beer in the barn kind of helped make things a little bit smoother, right?
We've got a lot of Ruthie drinkers. We're hoping that we're going to come up with a good lager that'll
Right.
switch them over to our beer.
English pale ale that's been barrel aged in Buffalo Trace barrels.
Yeah,
How long did you have it resting?
about 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, it was the first beer we brewed.
Hello, nurse. That's fantastic.